Hello everybody! In this video I'll be showing you how to make these Hello Kitty cushions. If you already know how to sew, this will be a very simple project. And if you're in the process of learning, then this is a really good project to get you started. I will be using 3 different colors of fleece fabric, white for the face and pink and black for the back. For the pattern, you're basically drawing Hello Kitty's face as big or as small as you want it to be. The amount of fabric will depend on the size of your pattern, so the bigger the pattern, the more fabric you'll need. My cushions were 13 by 10, so I had enough with half a yard of pink and black and a yard of the white. Now cut the pattern pieces out, and don't forget to transfer your markings, in this case the position of the eyes, the nose, and the whiskers. I used transfer paper and my tracing wheel for this part. If you don't have any of this, then you can just draw them by hand. If you do, let's hope you're very precise and don't end up with crooked whiskers or uneven eyes. But I have faith in you. We'll be working with the white pieces first. For that, I used some iron-on thin interfacing. I recommend to use it because fleece fabric can lose its shape if you do a lot of stitching on it, which I will be doing. Once you have ironed on the interfacing and cut off any of the excess, then it's time to sew on the eyes and the nose. For this part, I used a zigzag stitch that is very close together, almost to my buttonhole setting, and the width is the highest I can get on my sewing machine. If you haven't, this is the time to get familiar with your sewing machine. And even if you are, I recommend practicing before attaching the eyes because it takes practice to be able to sew a circle this small with this type of stitch. In order to achieve this, you have to be lifting the foot to redirect the needle around the curve, and only do this when the needle is in the outside stitch line. Even though I have done this before, my first tie came out with a little crooked line. So yes, very important to practice before going for it. For the whiskers, you will use the same stitch type, and you're just following a straight line. Once you have the faces ready, then you can sew together the back and front pieces, right sides together with a regular stitch and leaving a 4-inch opening at the bottom. Every time you do an inward curve, you have to do V-shaped notches around the stitch line. This will get rid of the bulk and you will end up with a really nice curve. Then flip them right side out and sew along the ears following the curve of the face. This will be a regular straight stitch, but keep in mind you have 2 different color fabrics to work with. To do this, just put 1 color of thread through your sewing machine needle and a different color in the bobbing thread. That way the bottom stitch line will be a different color from the top stitch line. Once that is done, then you can put the filling in your cushions. And then hand sew the opening. Because I like to complicate my life, I also did a pattern for the bow and I cut 2 for each piece out of the corresponding color. Leaving a 1.5-inch opening on each side of the bow, I stitched the rest together. Then you can flip them right side out through one of those openings. Draw the inside shape of the bow and sew on top of your lines. Then put a little bit of filling through your openings and sew them close by hand. Then the same for the circle. leaving one small opening and following the same procedure. Once you have those two pieces ready, you can sew them together. In this case, I decided to hand sew lace trim around the circles to add more detail to the bow. Then sew the finished bow in place. And that's it! Your Hello Kitty cushions are done!